Hello students. Today we'll discuss the last part of microorganisms, friend and foe, class 8th science. So in our previous part, in previous session, we have already discussed the usefulness of microorganism and some of the, that is mainly the preparation of vaccines, antibiotics, and how they are useful in the households, that we have already discussed. And we have also discussed the disease causing microorganisms, how they are causing various kinds of diseases in plants, other animals, and human being too. And in this session we'll discuss the how the microorganisms harming our food by causing food poisoning. Then we'll discuss some methods of food preservation, under which we'll discuss chemical method, preservation by common salt, preservation by sugar, preservation by oil and vinegar, heat and cold treatment, storage and packaging. And then we'll discuss nitrogen fixation, which is related to agriculture, then nitrogen cycle. So these food preservations are to in order to protect the food from the microorganism or to prevent food poisoning. So let me discuss one by one. The first one is your food poisoning. So this food poisoning is caused due to certain microorganisms, and the microorganisms that grow on our food produces toxic substances and makes the food poisonous. And when we take these kind of foods, poisonous food, we suffer from serious diseases, and sometimes it causes death also. That's why it is very important that we should preserve the food to prevent it from being spoiled by the microorganism. Because see, all the time we cannot prepare the food every time, and we can eat the fresh food like pickles or jam. So these things are prepared once and they are preserved for further use. So they should be preserved in a proper way. Now here we will discuss about some of the methods of food preservation. And I have already told you why food preservation is required. It is required to protect the food from the microorganism, so that the food will not get spoiled by the microorganism. Now we will discuss some of the common methods that is used to preserve the food in our homes. Now the first one is your chemical method. The preservative like salts and edible oils are the common chemicals generally used to check the growth of microorganisms. You might have seen that when we prepare pickle, in the pickle we are adding salt and also edible oils, and that's why we can preserve the pickles years together. Okay, and that prevents the microbial growth in the food. The next, sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfate are used as the common preservative, which are used in the jams and squashes to check their spoilage. Suppose simply I have prepared the jam and I will keep it in a bottle or in a container, and I will close that container. It doesn't mean that the jam will not get spoiled by the microorganism. So to preserve it, in the market the jam bottle or squashes which are available are already treated with sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfate are added to them. That's why they are preserved for a long period of time and there will be no spoilage of food. The next is preservation by common salt. That is, you must be knowing the dry fish, dry meat. So what are these? Actually, these fishes are generally, the meats are generally dried after mixing them with salt. Okay, so the meat and fishes are covered with dry salt to check the growth of the bacteria. So salt is used for preventing the growth of bacteria. Similarly, salting is also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes and tamarind. Okay. Next, preservation by sugar. You know that in jam is not only containing the fruit pulp or the extract of the fruit. Jelly is also not containing only the fruit pulp. A large amount of sugar is added to them because sugar can also prevent the growth of the microbes on these food items. That's why sugar is used for preserving jams, jellies, squashes. Okay, and this sugar reduces the moisture content, which inhibits the growth of the bacteria, which generally spoils the food. Now next is your preservation by oil and vinegar. I have already discussed the edible oils are used to prevent the spoilage of the pickles because the bacteria cannot live in oil, and besides that the vinegars are also added to the pickles for long-term preservation, and besides that the vegetables, fruits, fish and meats which are available in the mall, they are kept in a liquid in a jar or in a container. Actually this contains the vinegar. So vinegar also prevents the growth of the microbes. The next, another most important method is heat and cold treatment. See, the milk packet that we purchase from the market, we need not to boil that. We can take it as we have purchased from the market, simply washing the packet, because that milk is already contamination free. There is no microbes or there is no contamination, or that milk is not spoiled, and such milk is called pasteurized milk. What is pasteurized milk? The milk, before packing it in a packet, the milk is pasteurized, and the process is called pasteurization. So what is pasteurization? In the process of pasteurization, the milk is heated up to about 70 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 30 seconds, and then suddenly chilled and stored. So by doing this, the growth of the microbes is prevented. And now after cooling, the milk is packed in the packets. Okay, so in this way we can preserve the milk for few days. Okay, and this you should know that this process was discovered by Louis Pasteur, and that's why it is called pasteurization. Now another method is storage and packing. See, the fruits are always or the all kinds of vegetables and fruits are not grown in every part of our country. So the fruits are different types of fruits are transported from one part of the country to the other part. So particularly the dry fruits and even vegetables are sold in the sealed airtight packets. So why it is airtight and sealed? It is in order to prevent the attack of microorganisms. Then the most important role played by the microorganism in our environment is nitrogen fixation. Time and again I am telling you that rhizobium is involved in the fixation of nitrogen in leguminous plant. Because the nitrogen cannot be utilized by the plant directly from the atmosphere, and besides rhizobium, some other microbes are also there to fix the nitrogen, like blue-green algae and some other bacteria. So why nitrogen is needed to be fixed and how it is important? See, nitrogen is a part of protein, and most part of the plant body is protein, and we get the nitrogen from plant. We are not getting the nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. Okay, so the nitrogen is it is the essential constituent of all living organism. Okay, it is not only the part of protein, it is also a part of chlorophyll, nucleic acid, that is DNA and RNA, you must be knowing, vitamins, and it is available 78% in our environment. And as I have told you, the bacteria and blue-green algae present in the soil for fixing the nitrogen from the atmosphere. Okay, so after fixing the nitrogen, they convert it into usable compounds of nitrogen, and the usable compounds are utilized by the plants from the soil. Either as in case of rhizobium, directly the nitrogen is fixed by the bacteria in the root nodules, but in other cases the bacteria fix the nitrogen in the soil, and the plant absorb those usable form of nitrogen from the soil, and then that nitrogen in the plant body is used for preparing many other compounds like protein, chlorophyll, RNA and DNA. Okay, so now how this nitrogen cycle? So because again the nitrogen has to go back to the atmosphere. It comes from the atmosphere, cycled through the living organism, then again it goes back to the atmosphere. So that's why it is known as nitrogen cycle. So here with the help of a flow chart or schematic diagram, I can explain you that see, at the top the atmospheric nitrogen is there, and that atmospheric nitrogen is fixed by the bacteria and blue-green algae. On the left side you can see it is fixed, and then this bacteria fix it into the nitrogenous compound, usable compounds, and this fixation can also be taken place by lightning. So when lightning takes place, some amount of nitrogen is fixed in the soil, and besides that, in industry also the nitrogen is collected from the atmosphere, and that is converted into inorganic compound, that is for the preparation of the fertilizers. So in that way also the plant can get the nitrogen. Okay, now from the soil at the bottom you can see that the compounds of nitrogen in the soil is available, and from the soil the uptake by plant. At the center it is written uptake by the plants. The plant take up the nitrogen compound, then when the animal eats the plant, it goes to the animal body, and from the animal the nitrogenous waste, that is urine, is released, or after the death of the plants or the animals, ultimately this nitrogen compound again goes back to the soil. You can see in the flow chart or in the schematic diagram, from the soil it goes to the plant, then right side arrow is there, it goes to the animal, from animal again it is downward, that is nitrogenous waste from the excretion and death, and after death again it mixes with the soil. Now from this, in the soil some other microorganism like bacteria are there who can convert these nitrogen compounds again into the nitrogen, elementary nitrogen or gaseous nitrogen, that goes back to the atmosphere, that is given on the right side. Okay, so here if you observe, it is a cyclic process, comes from the atmosphere, fixed by the bacteria in the soil, then from soil it is taken up by the plants, from plants to animals to, both from plants and animals to the soil again, and again from the soil by certain bacteria it goes back to the atmosphere. So that's why it is known as nitrogen cycle. So here diagrammatically it is given, it is more convenient it will be for you. So here you can see that atmospheric nitrogen, it is fixed by the bacteria, and then see on the left side the nitrogen fixing bacteria, legume plant is there, root nodule is there, then from the plant the bacteria are also fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. There is a line going to the the lower side of this slide. There the nitrogen fixing bacteria are fixing the nitrogen in the soil. So there is a group of bacteria which are fixing the fixing the nitrogen in the plant itself, root nodule of the legume, and there is another group of bacteria which fix the nitrogen in the soil. Okay. Now from the in the soil the bacteria convert them into ammonium. Okay, and then ammonium is converted into nitrates, then nitrites, then nitrites are converted into nitrates, and these nitrates are taken by the plants, then from plants it goes to the animals. When the plant die and the animals die, or the waste material from the animals are disposed in the environment, in the environment the decomposers are there, those bacteria which convert again these nitrogen compounds into ammonia are the decomposers. Then again ammonia is converted into the atmospheric nitrogen by some bacteria and goes back to the atmosphere. And I hope this is very much clear to you. Now at the end I have given some of the question. Whenever you find time, you just try to test your knowledge, and if you have we have finished the chapter, and that is microorganism friend and foe, and we have discussed many things about the harmfulness and usefulness of the microorganism, especially in our life. So if you have any queries, you can ask me in the comment section, and don't forget to share with your friends and like the video. Thank you.